With a kiss for luck, the Book of Unlimited will embrace a new champion Sunday night. Taylor Moreno eyes top prize, one that may be hers if Kenzie Kent plays by golden rules. Katie Glynn is in the running, with Cannon Fire from Charlotte North always setting a quick pace. Time flies when every moment counts with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. You're watching Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN, presented by our official sustainability partner, Aspiration. This evening we return to Sparks, Maryland, home of USA Lacrosse HQ. Captain, my captain. They do battle. The squad led by Taylor Moreno faces up to the challenge of Team Katie Glynn. A very pleasant welcome to you. Alongside Courtney Martinez-Connor, a five-time national champion at Maryland, I'm Joe Beninati. In this matchup of league leaders and captains, how should those behind the mask be approaching this game so late in the season?
You know, I think when you look at the goalkeepers, they're your quarterbacks on the field. They see everything. And so they truly are the ones calling things out on the defensive end of the field. And if you come up with big defensive stops, that translates into offense. So I think the more that they do that from one end of the field to the other, the more success their teams will have. While
we have a bit of time, it's good to get you caught up with how they do business at Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. We have 56 players competing for one individual title, Court. 14 on the roster, shuffled up each week, and we keep score in a very cool way.
Everything that you do matters. Quarter points can total up, overall win points, and then your individual play. Statistically, you want to make sure that you're making plays on the field, and then you want to make sure that others are noticing, because MVPs are voted at the end of each game.
A very wise individual, I'm looking right at you, told me that the rookies would be great this season. Taylor Moreno may have had the biggest impact of any of them.
You know, when you look at the rookies, they are not playing like rookies at all. Taylor Moreno, she is a tireless worker. In talking with the coaches from UNC, where she just graduated from and won a national championship, she just never stops working in all aspects of her life. I've been impressed with her ability inside of the goal cage. She has already managed to supersede the number of saves from season one. They had 5 weeks to do it. She did it in 3 weeks.
She's been rock solid in the cage. That stopping ability can be mesmerizing. Currently, she is second on the leaderboard overall. Goalies get all of the glory in this discussion so far tonight. Katie Glynn, a season ago, fourth on the leaderboard. Her brilliant play this summer has her around that post again.
You know, I think she has a huge advantage. When you have been able to already have one season within Athletes Unlimited, she knows the big plays that goalies can have. Making saves, translating it quickly to the offensive end of the field. A new, unique part of Athletes Unlimited this year, running the ball out so they can get more caused turnover points. Expect for Katie Glynn to continue to move up the leaderboard. She understands the game.
She's a very cool customer, doesn't get flustered. She forces you to beat her with your best. She rarely will beat herself. Right now, she's 9th overall on the leaderboard. We get a kick out of talking with the players while they're in the heat of play. They bring us into the game with Air National Guard. And right now, I see Taylor Moreno doing a little groundskeeping. This rookie does it all, apparently. I know, Taylor, it's got to be fun to be so high up on the leaderboard. But what's been the most fun aspect of the league overall for you this first time around?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
I'm asking you, what's been the most fun for you in the first time around?
Honestly, just getting to play with a bunch of different people all the time. It's definitely a unique environment, and that you're not playing with the same people every weekend. So just getting to play alongside some different girls every game has been pretty awesome.
Taylor, what kind of work were we doing on the goal just then?
We're just making sure that Purple doesn't get any cheap goals going through the holes over here. So we're just sliding some loops back on the pipes.
I was going to say, I didn't think you broke out any needle and thread. Thanks very much for talking with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Taylor Moreno all set and ready to go. This is game number 20 of 24 this season. Doubleheaders on Saturday and Sunday will conclude Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2. At the end of play and at the end of MVP voting on Sunday, we'll crown that individual champion, hand out 4 medalists, a Geico Defensive Player of the Year for all the hard work over the last month. How quickly 30 days can fly by. Team Glynn is in the purple, Team Moreno in the gold. As we're under the lights at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Glad you've tuned in there with us. Hallie Majorana, who has had a brilliant summer. She's been among the top 3 scorers all season long. That pass gets away, ball down, off of the cross of McCone, picked up by Kennedy. There's a 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Hallie Majorana controlling the ball against Cookie Carr. Haley Warden maneuvering in against Marie McCool. 15 seconds to shoot. We play 10 on 10, 6 on 6 at the offensive end. Charlotte North gave it back to Warden, ball down, and the scoop is made off the caused turnover, claimed by Ali Palermo, the rookie out of Northwestern.
While that didn't translate into a goal for Team Glynn, it's very obvious that they worked on their offensive sets. We saw from sweeping looks inside to the ball moving from fluidly from one end of the field to the other to then an ISO up top. And then they were looking potentially at a little flip from the elbows. Didn't work out in their favor, but you know that a team is going to be honed in when they start running sets in their very first offensive.
Temperatures in the low 80s. It's humid, it's sticky out there, but nowhere near the blast furnace heat that we've seen. Snapshot rocket, though, from the outside will heat it up for Kelsey Huff.
Team Moreno, their first offensive set, they were able to get a great look at the goal. We see Marie McCool, all eyes are on her. She's such a tough midfielder to handle when she uses her speed, but as the ball fluidly moves from the left to the right, Nicole Levy, she was the one who got it into the ever-capable hands of Kelsey Huff, and we see eyes up right here. Good things happen when you share the ball. Kelsey Huff catching it, shooting on the run, oftentimes more difficult than a plant shot, but she had a long range right there. Katie Glynn, ever the keeper, always looking to improve her game. Don't expect for that to happen again.
Officials review being conducted. Lynn Bowers, Liz Brush checking things out in the tablet. Kelsey Huff on the board with goals now in 8 of her 10 games this summer. Let's have another peek. Huff was very close to the 8-meter key. Score from behind there, you'll get 2. Was her foot on the line?
I think it was out of her stick before she stepped over that line. So the referee's looking at this right now. They have access to all of the same film that you see, but you can clearly tell that the ball is out of her stick. I believe this is an official review and not a team.
And Lynn Bowers is ready to make the decision.
Yes, this is in fact an official's review. The ball was released before she stepped over the line, so the ruling on the field of 2 points will stand.
A 2-point goal for Kelsey Huff. The other earlier one came in dramatic fashion. For every assist, that one provided by Nicole Levy. Aspiration planting 10 trees. Over 1,400 now have been committed to, including today's action. The 2-point goal of which I was speaking, Kelsey Huff, was a dramatic one in week 1 against Britt Reed. There she blisters one upstairs on Katie Glynn, giving Team Moreno in the goal the 2-0 advantage. 16 points on the leaderboard when you score from behind the arc, like Kelsey Huff just did. Allie Kennedy will propel into the offensive end. She's watched there defensively by her fellow Team USA gold medalist, Marie McCool. McCool bandaged up. We understand that she too has been listed as far as playing with limitations. That might limit her practice time. She's good to go out there when the lights are on. Just now 2 minutes old in quarter 1. Majorana for Team Glynn in the purple. Charlotte North, the high-scoring rookie, gets to the outside, fires and scores! The bouncer that crosses up Moreno. And North has pulled into a tie for the Athletes Unlimited goal-scoring lead.
We saw a defensive change happen on the field for Team Moreno. Marie McCool leaving Charlotte North for Emma Trenchard. But Charlotte North, with her back and forth play, when she has time to place the ball exactly where she wants it in her stick, she is lethal.
You think those two will ever get tired of facing each other? Trenchard and North, that would have been the matchup in the NCAA national title game. Their teammates, of course, on Team USA, Trenchard would have been the youngest player on the Team USA gold medalist as they have a chat about it. Charlotte's up to 24 markers on the season. Lauren Gilbert was held off the board for the first time ever in her Athletes Unlimited career earlier today. Team Opuzzo, an 8-5 winner over Team Johansson. Sam Opuzzo with a hat-trick performance in that game. Opuzzo's teams this summer are 9-1. That's the way to vault yourself to the top of the leaderboard. Team Moreno in gold, veteran Amber McKenzie, co-chair of the Player Executive Committee. The players make all the decisions, and they're the leaders in this league. Levy spying Alex Ost-Holman, who'll set a little screen in the two-person game. Molly Little there to defend, 66 in purple. Help coming on the end line from Sydney Pareca as well. Kenzie Kent, who can stop on a dime, gets topside. Shovel shot stopped there by Glynn. A nice save and control of the rebound.
Kenzie Kent so slippery around the crease. The fact that she was able to get a shot off around 2-3 defenders, and then Katie Glynn with the excellent stop.
Pass that was deflected out of bounds off of Amber McKenzie. It'll stay with Team Glynn and Izzy McMahon. McMahon, who has goals in her last 5 outings. Snapshot there, great stop by Moreno. She snapped that one out of the air against a hard charging Allie Kennedy. For every goalie save, you get 6 points. Both Moreno and Glynn now have made their initial stop on the night. We're in the twilight here at USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland, about 20 miles north of Baltimore. The lights are starting to take full effect. Kelsey Huff on the board for Team Moreno in gold. Charlotte North on the score sheet for Team Glynn. The Huff tally was a 2. Sam Opuzzo, her day is done. She rests right now on top of the Geico leaderboard. Find your favorites. Those are cumulative totals over the 4 weeks of play. McCool there, roughed up on the outside. This is going to be a card to Sydney Pareca, player up for Team Moreno.
This is going to be a 60-second penalty, a safety call. So Team Moreno is going to be up 6-5 as we watch right here. That's a lot of contact to the body, but it was the check to the face where the yellow card came out.
Ost-Holman will get it set quickly for Levy. She distributes to McCool. Player up for Team Moreno, another 50 seconds. There are 20 points available to everybody on your roster when your team wins a quarter. Right now, Team Moreno in front thanks to that 2-pointer from Huff. Levy tried to skip it on through the defense. It was deflected by Katrina Geiger, always in the passing lanes, number 8 in the purple. And this is a turnover, the first one of the game for Team Moreno. Efforting down the sideline, it's Haley Warden. On for Geiger, a player who has had to endure 4 different knee surgeries, Court. She covers so much ground you'd never know it. Kennedy going to goal, will distribute for Molly Stevens. That's 17 in the purple. Molly, a Maryland native, raised mostly in California. North hovering on the outside with a screen from Majorana. The pass just over top of Kennedy. Goes right to the waiting Lindsay McCone. Back comes Team Moreno. Looking for the fast break, it's McCool. She has the numbers, 4-on-3. McCool feeds inside Ost-Holman. Score! Alex Ost-Holman on the business end of the break.
This is one of those instances that I talked about early, translating defense into offense, pushing the fast break, finding the open player in transition. As Marie McCool is traveling down, a nice little look-off pass. Excellent teamwork for Team Moreno as they have the score 3-1.
Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN is brought to you by Aspiration, the global leader in sustainability as a service. We're underway in the night game. About 20 miles north of Baltimore, there's Charm City, all lit up in the distance. 3-1 for Team Moreno. 2-point goal from Huff, the last tally from Alex Ost-Holman, putting Team Moreno in the driver's seat for those 20 points at the end of the 10 minutes for whomever wins the quarter. Last Monday, this week past, we had our final draft of this summer, Courtney. Midfielders and attackers are usually there at the top of the heap in the top 9 picks.
Midfielders do most of the heavy lifting in this league, running both sides of the field, and there's just 4 per team. Not surprised about Charlotte North. She was selected overall number 1 in terms of the rookies. And Becca Block, she just has done an outstanding job from the defense in year 1 to year 2. It doesn't seem like she is slowing down an ounce.
Block, Waters were all involved earlier today. Speaking of lacrosse action, we've got Premier Lacrosse League play coming up tomorrow from Utah. Atlas and Whip Snakes, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Water Dogs and Redwoods will follow. Then on Saturday, Chaos and Archers, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Cannons and Chrome to follow that one up. All 4 games exclusively on ESPN Plus. For the Cannons, Lyle Thompson is always tearing it up. Young lacrosse fans, jerseys on, watching one of their heroes for sure, the great Charlotte North, who's on the board for her side, Team Glynn. North, who has pulled into a tie for the goal-scoring lead as a result of that first quarter salvo. We've got 4.5 left in the opening frame. 4 10-minute stop-time quarters in Athletes Unlimited. This 4th draw of the game, inside the draw circle, Warden and McCool, who've been both up there near the top of the draw controls all season long with Ali Mastriani. Draw control to Ali Kennedy, who's running much better than we saw 1 week ago.
When I look at any of the players who were participating in world championships or even the world games, their bodies have been through a lot this summer, and then to cap it off with 3 games a week in Athletes Unlimited. We saw them take a little bit of a backseat last weekend, but it seems like she is back to full form in terms of her sprinting ability on the field. Allie's
had a few assists. She gets 4 points for the helpers, but she has had no goals, Ali Kennedy, in the last 4 outings. Majorana, marked by Cookie Carr. Sydney Pareca will take it on an offensive rush. Stick check there. McCone trying to force the turnover with Carr. Inside for Majorana. Snapshot score! A lightning fast release from Hallie Majorana.
Never giving up on the play is so very important on any field. But on the lacrosse field, as we see this dodge, excellent defense by Cookie Carr. Ground ball wasn't picked up, so it's put back into the stick of Team Glynn. And Hallie Majorana right here benefiting from the ground ball work of Pareca and her patience. She could have shot right away, but she chose to take a moment, sight the cage as we watch right here. Hallie Majorana, defensive player Amber Falcone, is who she hesitated and dodged one more defensive player, getting Taylor Moreno off of her line.
Amber going back to her maiden name, or are we sticking with Mackenzie?
Oh, shoot.
That's
there
okay.
We go.
Things happen. Habits are hard to break.
Well, I chatted with her several times over the last few days.
Yeah, that'll do it, and that's fine. Majorana on the board. Lauren Gilbert was shut down in the opener today, so now only Majorana and North, the only 2 players to score in all 10 games for themselves this summer. Courtney Taylor looking for the draw control. The scoop is made by the ever-smooth Kenzie Kent, working for Team Moreno in goal. The 3-2 leader, tail end of the opening quarter. Just a reminder, 20 points for all 14 players on the roster for the team that wins each individual quarter. McCone works the flip for Huff. 40 seconds in the shot clock. Kenzie Kent bluffs this one for McCone. Levy, who has a punishing outside shot, thinking about the 2. Exchanges for Kent. Swinging around, Huff lets it fly, and a crossover save made by Glynn. Her outlet pass was knocked down. Katie's second stop on the night. But the cause turnover and possession for Kenzie Kent and Team Moreno. Less than 3 minutes to operate in the opening frame. Team Apuzzo over Team Johansson earlier today, 8-5 in a low-scoring game. McCool, stick check, beautiful takeaway. Courtney Taylor driving back, the rookie out of Boston College, but she lost possession. McCool, turnabout is fair play. Levy from a knee, she scores! How's that for a balancing act? Nicole Levy.
Another defensive set that ends in a goal. Marie McCool relentlessly riding until she got that ball back. It was initially taken from her, and then she had a cause turnover as she's fast breaking right to goal. Nicole Levy doing whatever it takes to catch that ball and then finishing. I don't think Katie Glynn was quite ready for a shot to be taken from the knees, but Nicole Levy incredibly composed.
No footwork, no problem. Nicole Levy's 11th. She mentioned to us on media day, you know, I've had to overcome being underestimated all of my lacrosse life. She has fabulous forearms and wrists to snap a ball like that from her knees to pick up the marker and make it 4-2 now for Team Moreno in gold in the final 2:14 of play. Ellie Kennedy powering her way in. Kennedy feeds. Geiger's next. Move it quickly to Majorana. No shooting space for Stevens. She'll bring it outside. 2 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Moreno doubling up Glynn 4-2. Van Thoff will swing it. Set it up for Charlotte North. North with momentum against Trenchard. North, the two-time reigning Tewaaraton Award winner. Snapshot here from Kennedy that goes high. North was closest to it on a shot when and where the ball leaves the field. North, the two-time reigning Tewaaraton Award winner, angles in. That's college lacrosse's equivalent of the Heisman Trophy. Van Thoff off the roll dodge marked by McKenzie. The feed that crosses up Kennedy, 3 seconds to shoot. North, who leads the league in twos, will not have time to pull the trigger. That is a shot clock violation against Team Glynn. Everybody on defense for Team Moreno gets 2 points as a result.
Joe, on the flip side of that, the offense has negative 2 points to their entire team when a shot clock violation goes against the attack.
Clearing time for Marie McCool, who jets her way back to midfield. You have 20 seconds to clear the midline in Athletes Unlimited. Less than a minute to go in quarter one. 20 points on the line for the team that wins this frame. Right now, Team Moreno in the driver's seat. Just about the same amount of time on the game clock as the shot clock. Kenzie Cantu had a 5-goal game last weekend, tying the individual record for most goals in a game in Athletes Unlimited. McCone, who's had a hat trick this season, came back in week 1. Flips to McCool. Like Allie Kennedy, she was quiet for the most part last week, but capable of erupting at any time. Kent on the go, marked by Van Thoff. Skip it on through, Levy with a big face dodge, shovels one high and a little wide of the cage. The officials awarding possession to Alex Oss-Holman, but she's going to drop it at the end of the opening quarter. We've played 10 minutes. Nicole Levy with the last strike from her knees, winning 20 points for everybody in gold for Team Moreno. Done with one. We'll get you back to USA Lacrosse headquarters in just a few moments. A chance to spin and score for Kelsey Huff. That wicked release from the outside. Thumbs up from Nicole Levy. Team Moreno doubling up Team Glynn. The second quarter comes your way in just a few moments in front of a whole lot of Charlotte North fans on ESPN.
Your Athletes Unlimited champion, pitcher number 8, Alicia Ocasio.
I don't feel pressure to become the champion again, but I always feel pressure to perform. But that's great though, because I see pressure as a privilege. To be able to have won the Athletes Unlimited Championship in 2021 and now be here today competing for another one. The work isn't done. I have to step on that field at ground zero again, get points and compete and hit and pitch and field and do all the things. So yeah, I feel a certain level of pressure to perform, but I find so much calmness in that. And that's where I feel like I thrive the most, when I do feel that pressure.
Really the big question in softball, will a non-pitcher win the title? Last week in the softball draft, the first time that a pitcher was not one of the 4 captains. Week 3, Athletes Unlimited softball, 2 games tomorrow. Team Jakewish taking on Team McClenny, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific on ESPN+. Then Team Mulipola squaring off against Team Chittister, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ESPNU. As the little ones are looking on, we are set to resume with the second quarter of play, a 4-2 count in favor of Team Moreno. Huff with a 2-pointer, Host, Holman, and Levy on the board. North and Majorana exchanging markers for Team Glynn. Marie McCool with a couple of assists already in this contest. Sammy Jo Tracy against Haley Warden inside the draw circle. Sammy Jo Tracy, Courtney, obsessed with traveling, she tells us. Loves to bounce around on vacation whenever possible. She's at work right now, trying to win a draw here. Scrambling with Courtney Taylor. Sammy Jo using body position on the ground ball all the way to the sideline. Did she come up with a scoop? Not yet. The officials are going to award possession here to Courtney Taylor and Team Glynn. Kennedy, elusive as always, picking up help from Molly Stevens. Just getting going in the second. Joe and Courtney with you. Bottom of the hour time. Big tip of the cap to all the men and women in our technical crew. Our TV team playing one man down. Casey, we're thinking of you. Snapshot goes wide of the goal with a little help from Moreno. On the end line, there's Charlotte North. North will bring it back in. Her shadow is Emma Trenchard. Going to be that way all night, you'd assume. 88 purple, 91 gold. North getting out of some traffic. Kennedy, outstanding Stony Brook Seawolf in her collegiate days. This is Alyssa Perella. Perella, very quick jab step, feed inside, nice catch. The shovel doesn't go. Rebound claimed by Warden. Still offensive possession and a new 60, although the officials are going to check it out whether or not there should have been a reset of the shot clock. If the goalie makes a save, if the ball hits a post, that's when the shot clock should be reset. It looked like Moreno got a piece there.
So right before that is when we would have seen if Taylor Moreno got a piece of that shot or not. I think what the players are hoping for is it went off a defensive player.
That was the attempted Twizzler from Haley Warden. Did it ever touch the goalie in a save capacity? Watch again.
And that is clear that it did not. If anything, it
hit the defender.
Yeah.
Cookie.
Cookie Carr, or Crash, her new nickname that we hear about.
You told me about that. I loved it. From her younger playing days. Charlotte North on the isolation, draws the quick double from McCool. North bluffing the outside 2-point shot from behind that 8-meter key. They'll give you 2 for the team and 16 for yourself. Off the redodge, North cradles back in. Rolls against Trenchard and scores! North would not be denied.
Obviously, the game plan defensively for Team Moreno is to force Charlotte to have to go to her left-hand side. They want to stop her dodge to the right. They're sitting on that side. We see the double coming. It's a little bit late because you do need a double to stop the freight train of Charlotte North. Her stick, what she's able to do with the ball in it, the patience, the control. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of practice, but that's how she's able to get these accurate shots off. And we see that quick rollback right there. Tough defense by Emma Trenchard, but an even better shot placement by Charlotte North.
Charlotte North's 25th. It may have taken 4 weeks, but as many would have expected this summer, North now leads the league in goals, setting the pace. 2 rookies, Charlotte North and Lauren Gilbert. Gilbert, who was blanked earlier today for the first time in her Athletes Unlimited career. North with another multi-goal performance. Multi-goals for Charlotte in 9 of 10. Almost 2 minutes clear in quarter two. It's now 4-3, Team Moreno in goal. Warden, who would have set draw controls at James Madison, ball down, comes up on the scoop. The draw possession to Courtney Taylor. Team Glynn dominating in draw controls in the early going, 6-2. There's a green card coming out, a 30-second player up soon. Sammy Jo Tracy asked to leave. Player up now for Team Glynn for just 30 seconds. The officials asking for a stoppage in play to balance up into the 6-on-5 for the team in purple. Sammy Jo, a quizzical look behind those goggles. Charlotte North's had the hot hand so far in the opening half. Looking to tie or perhaps move ahead with a 2 this offensive trip. Great read by Moreno. She stole that pass beautifully, timing her step out on Majorana. That's 12 points for Moreno with a caused turnover, but the outlet pass goes away from Cookie Carr, giving Team Glynn a last-ditch effort, player up. Back to even strength now with 7:15 to go in the half. McMahon on the feed. The rip off the inside of the post from North. She had Moreno beaten. Long rebound held there by Pareca. Was that over and back? The officials stopping play, and it's going to be possession time for Moreno. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN, presented by our official sustainability partners, Aspiration.
Look at that wind up by Charlotte North. That's her signature, what she's known for. She has such hold in that stick. She's able to really wind up and get a hard shot on goal, but off the post.
Mentioned our sustainability partner, Aspiration. Stay with us at the half. We'll be chatting with the Chief Sustainability Officer of Aspiration, Olivia Albrecht, will be our halftime guest. Lynn Bowers presiding over this officials meeting with just over 7 minutes to go in the half. We reset things for you. Huff a 2-pointer, Ost Holman and Levy on the board for Moreno. Was that over and back? Lindsay McCone thought so immediately.
Once the ball travels behind the midfield line and it's in the opposing team's dip, Team Glynn, that's the right call, which the referees were just discussing, but not sure what Team Glynn's complaint was on that one. A defender got possession.
McCool to the elbow, fires, and a kick-out move there from Glynn. The sprint to the end line on a shot in lacrosse. The closest to the ball, where and when it leaves the playing surface, gets possession. It'll stay with Team Moreno in gold. Kenzie Kent to operate. She has her defender hung up. That's Courtney Taylor. Kent loves to work that side and then go inside roll, but Taylor wouldn't allow it. Ost Holman picked up by Geiger. 6 and change to go in the half. Another muggy night in Sparks, Maryland. McCool on the go. Marie twists out of the defensive check. Temperatures in the low 80s. Been a comfortable day for the most part. Huff feeds. Levy thought about the 2. 20 seconds to shoot. Off the hitch, there's Kenzie Kent with a rocket. She scores.
Oftentimes you just need to be patient with the ball around the perimeter, finding your best possible opportunity on the offensive side. And we go from Huff over to Nicole Levy, back to Huff. As soon as she finds Kenzie Kent, she realized she can carry that ball in closer. Her defensive player was out of position a tad, wasn't breaking her feet down. So we see as soon as she receives this, that extra little small hesitation in carrying the ball past that defensive player. And I can't say it enough, every time she shoots, changing the level, she has that stick low. She has a tremendous ability to shoot the ball from different angles. Again, oftentimes pulling from her 2 sports that she had played in college, not just lacrosse, but ice hockey as well.
Demonstrating some of her hockey background there for her 17th goal of the season. 5-3, Team Moreno has the lead. Kenzie Kent with goals in 9 of her 10 games this summer. She's number 2, Kenzie Kent is, in terms of goals and assists all time in Athletes Unlimited. Only Sam Apuzzo has more. Team Apuzzo victorious earlier today over Team Johansson 8-5. The captain had 3 goals. One of those was a 2 and another assist for her. The draw control story heavily in favor of Team Glynn. A little bit more than 5 minutes to work in the second quarter, which is level, 1 goal apiece in the quest for those 20 points when you win the frame. Hallie Majorana on the go against Carr. Turns and fires to a knee, making the rejection. Moreno, another stop for the keeper. Taylor picking up her second save. Moreno has double-figure stops in 8 straight games. Just remarkable this summer. As you look at the leaderboard ever-changing, these are cumulative totals over now 4 weeks.
As each week builds and builds, you see the colors forever changing as players change uniforms, sometimes week to week. Obviously, we heard some players excited, like Caroline Wakefield, that she had the opportunity to stay wearing one color. She feels like orange is lucky for her.
Kenzie Kent fakes the flip, working in. Katie Glynn had been wearing blue most of the season, now in purple in goal. She gets to change her shooting string. Inside, great catch and score. It's Kent again. Back to back for Kenzie, her second on the night. Three of the last 4 markers in this game to Team Moreno. Kenzie Kent heating up, little flash cut inside. She does the rest on ESPN. Little lacrosse players always working on perfecting their game on the grounds here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Team Moreno has a 6-3 lead. Marie McCool has assisted on 3 of those tallies for the team dressed in gold. Fans, it's time for you to earn points for watching. If you're an Unlimited Club member, enter the code on the screen into your Athletes Unlimited app. You'll earn points and move up the leaderboard. To get the app, download it today for free at your app store and get access to great Athletes Unlimited content and experiences all season long. 6-3 game. 6-3 game in favor of Team Moreno. Jill Girardi settling in for a little chair chat. Welcome, Jill. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
I know you like to water and snow ski. We're not talking about skiing right now. We're talking about lacrosse.
Yeah.
What has been the best part of this first season for you as a pro?
Just getting to know all the lovely ladies here, people that I've looked up to, and then people that I've played with. Just seeing everyone just elevate their game and just be able to play with them has been so inspiring.
Jill, correct me if I'm wrong, you were a communications major at Northwestern, right?
Yep.
How has that helped you now in interview situations like these?
I still get nervous. Public speaking wasn't my strong suit, but the strategies behind it I was pretty good with. But other than that, not too hot.
Jill, you told us you'd be a chef if you weren't a lacrosse player.
Yeah.
So what's the specialty of the house?
There really isn't one. I'm just kind of there, just cooking on whatever's around me. Oh, I gotta go. Gotta blast.
You gotta go. That's a fine way to leave us in the lurch. She does have to get out there and play, you know. With a last name like Girardi, mine being Beninati, I'm guessing the specialty of the house is something that I would enjoy eating.
I would agree right there with ya. 50% Italian over here.
Hey, I like that. Paisan. Girardi set to take a draw. Kaylee Warden was kind enough to wait for that chair chat to conclude, as official Ronnie Anton gets him set. 4 minutes and 22 seconds away from our halftime. Haley Warden and the team dressed in purple have won the last 4 draws. High in the air, Warden couldn't spot it. Girardi kept it loose, and the draw control belongs to Kenzie Kent. That's worth 2 points for her on her ledger.
I feel like we almost played a hand in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the third draw taker that we've seen from Team Moreno. It started with Marie McCool, and then we went to Sammy Jo Tracy. And obviously just getting the ball to a different area from where Haley Warden is placing it was what was the biggest necessity. And Jill Girardi was able to come up.
It's something we've said for just about everybody on the roster. When you look at it, they've all set draw control somewhere. Jill set the draw control record at Northwestern, and now in her rookie season of pro ball with Athletes Unlimited. McCool already with a hat trick of helpers, fires, had that one knocked down by Katie Glynn. Glynn with a smart look and stop. In this quarter alone, the score is 2-1 in favor of Moreno. Remember, the team that wins each individual frame gets 20 points for all 14 players on the roster. Izzy McMahon's been quiet so far, 2 in the purple. Anything but that in the last handful of games. Izzy has multiple goals in 4 of 5. Majorana directing traffic. She'll choose Charlotte North. Then up top to Kennedy. Split dodge move on McCone. No shooting room. Majorana continuing to bark out the offensive set. 15 seconds to shoot. Hallie Majorana, the inside pass. That would have been a tough catch for Kennedy. Stride for stride with her was the rookie Palermo. And this is Allie Palermo, the former Northwestern Wildcat, who will bring it ahead. Palermo, just around NCAA championship time. Her newborn niece, Lucy, was born. She was saying in the weeks leading up to Athletes Unlimited, she would be whispering in Lucy's ear, one day it'll be your turn. Kent on the go. Forced below goal line extended by Kennedy. McCool against Taylor. Marie McCool playing the two-man game, hedging out there. That bouncer fought off. The rebound into the cross of McCone. Still alive in a fresh 60-second shot clock.
That means they can take their time. Obviously, the defender is hung up for Team Glynn, but anytime you have a shot clock reset, you can take a breather and get a new offensive set that's gonna work.
Amber Hill is the facilitator for Team Moreno. Amber just took the timeout with 1:41 remaining in the half. The very same Amber Hill who would have wore 99 last year in goal in the inaugural season of Athletes Unlimited. We've seen great goalie play all summer long, Court. 4 goaltenders in particular have been outstanding and hogging a lot of the time. Charlotte North has been wearing a microphone for us once more tonight. Let's go into the game presented by Air National Guard.
I'm back with you. Okay. Ha! Coming in. Hey, look at the sunset. That's pretty cool.
I know, it's actually perfect night.
It's purple. Jump! Hi! Let's go.
Good job.
Guys, let's go. I think we can attack different spots too. Midi dodge, X, upside.
Good job, guys.
Yeah! Let's go. But
yeah.
the adjacent to, like, if someone looks like they're about to go, just like when in doubt, just get through. Because I think we're just trying to dodge more defenders than we need to. You know what I mean?
Whole lot of huffing and puffing and hard work from Charlotte North. 25 tallies, leads the league in goals. 5 of those have been behind the 8-meter key. As advertised, Courtney, her shot is terrific.
Yeah, that's the most exciting part. I think a lot of young fans who wear Charlotte North's jersey, they want to see that wind up.
Levy just whistled one off the crossbar. The rebound went 30 yards high. The bounce is going to be awarded to Team Glynn in purple. 80 seconds left in the half. In the quarter, Team Moreno has the lead, trying to win 20 points as they did in the first, when they outpointed Team Glynn 4-2. Another timeout taken with 1:15 separating us from our halftime festivities.
You know, and these are smart timeouts by the facilitators. It's night. They're not playing in the blistering sun. There's not a lot of humidity out right now. but you can still see that these players are working hard, and quarter points are on the line. It's 2-1 Moreno. Her team is up right now in the second quarter, but that can quickly change with a 2-point goal, or at the very least just tying the second quarter up potentially and having those points move along into that third quarter.
It's been a tremendous spring and summer of lacrosse on ESPN, and it continues tomorrow with Premier Lacrosse League play. Games coming from Utah, Atlas and Whipsnakes tomorrow, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, followed by Water Dogs and Redwoods. Then on Saturday, Chaos and Archers will square off 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Cannons and Chrome to follow, all 4 games exclusively on ESPN+. Whipsnakes, you think Matt Rambo and Mike Chanonchuk striking without warning for that dangerous squad. Athletes Unlimited play. Late second quarter action. Team Moreno guarding the goal there. Taylor, 77 in the gold jersey, doubling up Team Glynn. An offensive chance, 6-on-6 for Izzy McMahon. And Team Glynn in purple. Off of the timeout, let's see what they drew up. It'll begin with North, a long way from the cage. Charlotte North getting the early double team treatment from Palermo. McMahon keeps it hot. Majorana off the hitch. McCool was in good defensive position. 18 seconds to shoot. 37 in the half. North on the hop. That jump step so familiar. Backpedaling away from 2 defenders. Lob is over top of Majorana. That's a turnover. That'll cost Charlotte. Those turnovers are -8 on your point total. The 9th mistake for Team Glynn in this opening half. Last offensive set for Team Moreno. They won the first quarter. They're about to win the second. Kenzie Kent on the go, slithering inside. Feeds for Huff off the sweep. Huff fires, scores! A buzzer beater there for Kelsey Huff.
Team Moreno, they are gelling offensively. This started with the turnover from Team Glynn, quickly moving the ball up the field, and we see Kenzie Kent slicing and dicing through the defense. And then Kelsey Huff, I like the little duck by Ost Holman right there, maybe screening Katie Glynn in goal. But this was a power dodge, a sweeping, strong-handed left dodge, well placed on the weak side, but she had a head full of steam, and she was not stopping until this one was in the back of the cage.
Easy to see why Huff is second all-time at USC in goals, 165 of them, in fact, as she used good speed to create separation and then a snap of the wrist to overpower Katie Glynn and make this a 7-3 game with just 2 seconds in the half. Girardi making sure that unwanted visitor was not on the official's jersey for much longer. Team Moreno won the first quarter, 20 points. Team Moreno just won the second quarter, 3-1. Another 20 points for everybody wearing gold as we are at the half. Folks, stay with us. We'll be chatting with Olivia Albrecht pretty soon. She's the Chief Sustainability Officer of Aspiration. All that and more to come at the half. Charlotte North doing her thing. Team Moreno, though, with Kenzie Kent on the trigger, has the 7-3 lead at the halftime break from USA Lacrosse HQ. Four of the last 5 goals on the board belonging to Team Moreno. They have won each of the first 2 quarters, and as a result, everybody on the roster picks up 40 points on their leaderboard tally in front of a lot of very highly interested lacrosse fans here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. We have seen a lot of really good playmaking, Courtney, throughout this season. All the assisted goals, every assist in this Athletes Unlimited season. Aspiration planting 10 trees. Heading into this week, close to 1,400 had been committed to, and we have seen the playmaking continue tonight.
As we take a look at this Aspiration assist for tonight's game, Sydney Pareca hustling, getting that ground ball, putting it into the ever-capable hands of Hallie Mae Girana, but large part due, once again, to Sydney Pareca.
Hallie Mae Girana racking up another goal. That has been a daily thing for 37 in the purple. We thank Aspiration for all of its support. And we are at the half with Joe Beninati and Courtney Martinez-Connor with you with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2 on ESPN. We are joined now by Olivia Albrecht. She's the Chief Sustainability Officer with Aspiration. Olivia, thank you so much for spending some time with us. What message do you think Athletes Unlimited is sending to the sports world by becoming carbon neutral?
Well, first, let me just say, it's awesome to be with you today and amongst female athletes. I actually played D1 soccer at Princeton, so sports and athletics hold a very special place in my heart. Second, the message Athletes Unlimited is sending to the sports world is really incredible. AU is leading the pack as it relates to investing in the future of athletes and the future of our planet. So AU has made it very clear that they have a deep commitment to growing the league, investing in their athletes, and bettering the world. It's really a critical time for climate impact, and AU stepped up to the plate, took a leadership position when it comes to sports league and climate action. We know that this is a really important pillar of AU's business model, and I think other sports teams should and probably will follow suit, minimizing their environmental impact and engaging with communities and their fan base.
Olivia, how will Aspiration help Athletes Unlimited become more carbon neutral?
Yeah, this is a really significant and exciting partnership. Through 2023, Aspiration will power climate action into AU's operating activities as well as athlete and fan experiences. With Athletes Unlimited, we're calculating the league's carbon footprint and investing in nature to help mitigate that impact. Actually, our team just finished off our comprehensive carbon assessment to quantify the league's 2021 and 2022 estimates. That's kind of like our big game at Aspiration, calculating carbon and sourcing the investments to help mitigate impact. And from there, we're building creative ways to engage with fans on nature-based investments. For example, right now, AU embedded Aspiration's Planet Protection Program into every ticket sold, where the contributions directly fund carbon removal projects around the world. We also have a reforestation program aspect for each sport also. So during the basketball season, we launched Trees for Threes, in which Aspiration plants 10 trees for every three-pointer scored. And similarly, we have Round the Bases for softball. For every run scored, Aspiration, we plant 10 trees. And Aspiration Aces for volleyball. So now here we are rolling out Aspiration Assist program for lacrosse.
We've had fun talking about all the trees that are going to be going in the ground in the future. We really do appreciate it. Just one last thought with you as our time is getting a little bit brief. What was the inspiration behind the Aspiration Assist program?
Yeah, well, we want to find a way to connect all of the climate action that AU wants to provide for its operations, fans, and athletes, and we try to find creative ways to implement it. I think that's one of the unique aspects of Aspiration is that we're looking for creative ways to engage communities in climate action. So inspiration came from the sport itself, and here we are today with about 100 trees being committed to get planted today, and so hopefully we'll hit 200 by the end of the game. So let's go Kelsey Huff and Charlotte North.
Well, they'll do their best for you, I'm sure, Olivia. Thanks for spending so much time with us. We sure do appreciate it and all the support we get from Aspiration. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Olivia Albrecht, she's the Chief Sustainability Officer for Aspiration. We're north of Baltimore. Courtney and I are back for highlights coming up in just a few moments. Enjoying Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2 with the youngsters in the stands, all synchronized, a 7-3 advantage for Team Moreno. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor, hi there. As we chat with you with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, we're about to get you right to the highlights. Charlotte North, as usual, has been a highlight maker. She hasn't disappointed so far tonight.
Charlotte North is just doing Charlotte North things as we see her taking on one of the top defenders in the league, even though Emma Trenchard is just a rookie. So is Charlotte North, and the two of them bested one another back and forth throughout the collegiate season, and Charlotte North having her number in that last one. And then we have a hustle play. Marie McCool causing a turnover in the midfield, getting that ground ball, and getting it into the capable hands of Nicole Levy, who from the ground somehow was able to get a quality shot off.
Kenzie Kent, not to be forgotten, one of the driving forces for Team Moreno.
Kenzie Kent relies so much, not just on her athleticism, but her IQ. She is slippery inside, and she just has a knack for working with everyone around her.
Halftime stats looking this way. The shot story for Team Moreno. Emblematic of what is a 4-point lead. The draw controls, though, there's hope there for Team Glynn with the way they've operated around the draw circle. We are done with 20 minutes of play, getting set for the final 20 of regulation. Enjoying it with the whole family. Team Moreno on top, 7-3. Team Moreno has things under control after 2 quarters tonight. A 7-3 lead over Team Glynn. They've won each of the first 2 quarters, so 40 more points for everybody on the roster for Team Moreno. Don't miss your chance to see the excitement of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse in person. 2 more days to come at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Saturday, we'll be honoring the USA Lacrosse national team. After the game, the kids will get a chance to shoot on goal. Tickets are available today at auprosports.com/tickets. On a Thursday night, game 20, Team Moreno ready to set to get back into action. Taylor, please tell me what you like best about that opening half.
I think our team is doing a really good job of settling the ball on offense, really controlling the pace, and I think it's been really good for our middies to get a little bit of a rest. And our D is doing a great job of really holding their attackers and taking advantage of our ground balls and cause turnovers.
Taylor, thanks. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Numbers out there for Taylor have been terrific. She's second on the leaderboard. She's already set a new Athletes Unlimited single-season save record. Although, the thing that I'm sure Taylor's not too thrilled about is that she's lost her last 5 games straight up. Right now, she has things much more to her liking, 7-3, as the second half unfolds. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2, where the athletes are the leaders and decision makers. We began back on July 21st. Once Sunday rolls around, we will crown a single champion, hand out 4 medals, name the Defensive Player of the Year presented by Geico. Off this roll dodge, it's Warden looking to Majorana. Ali Majorana is on the board. She has goals in 10 straight. Ditto for Charlotte North, who has 2 in the opening half. North working against Trenchard, an All-American matchup. Kennedy explodes into this dodge. Matched up with Ali Palermo. That's quick on quick. Shot clock down to 6. There's a 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited. Good, sturdy defense from Cookie Carr, forcing the turnover.
That caused turnover. Credit to Cookie Carr. Ground ball to Emma Trenchard.
Fast break time, face dodge. At the end of the line, it's Glynn with a sparkling stop. Her 4th on the night for every goalie save. The netminder gets 6 points. End to end we go. Majorana wraps that one off the post. The big rebound taken to safety by Marie McCool. She'll jog it across the midline. And with composure, set up a 6-on-6. Goal line to goal line, Courtney, we're 75 yards apart. The full field is 95 yards. 10-on-10 with rosters of 14. Last 4 Mondays, we've had captains drafts, so the teams are always changing. But these teams and those that preceded us tonight in the opening game, Team Apuzzo against Team Johansson, they'll battle over the remaining 2+ days of Athletes Unlimited. Kenzie Kent sprints to goal, fires. Glynn shuffled over neatly to make the save. She has a handful of those. Great hustle on the end line by Girardi. And the officials are saying it should stay with Team Moreno. That was an all-out effort. Closest to the ball on a shot where and when it leaves the playing surface gets possession.
With the new shot clock, they can certainly take their time. Defensively, I think we haven't seen as many stops for Team Glynn in terms of the defensive effort, but Katie Glynn in goal is where they've been able to make the stop. She's been coming up with a lot of saves.
Pleasant night for lacrosse here in Sparks, Maryland. Temperatures are in the 80s. Face dodge for Huff, a bouncer right off the chest protector of Katie Glynn. Another stop for the captain netminder. Kent comes up with a scoop and another reset of the shot clock. Nicole Levy a long way from the cage outside that 8-meter key. You score from behind that line, you'll get 2 for the team. On a bouncer, it's Huff who has the hat trick.
We have not seen a high bouncer at all from this game or our game earlier today. Kelsey Huff changing it up. Nicole Levy looking to work a little two-man game. We see that so often in Athletes Unlimited. Gave a step for Kelsey Huff on her defensive player, and changing up the shot is what mixed Katie Glynn up right there. I like the different look. Oftentimes you put bouncers right at the goalie's feet or right at the goal circle. This was well outside, creating that nice bounce almost at the top right under that crossbar.
Giving netminders fits. Huff with the snap bouncer upstairs. You'll get a really good perspective of it right there. Katie Glynn not able to get up in time. Huff's third of the day, 15 on the season now for her. Her uncle Steve played at North Carolina, was a New York Lizard in the Major League Lacrosse days of 2001. I remember those fondly. Kelsey Huff, her game has gotten more and more productive as this season has gone along. Lynn Bowers is there looking at the tablet along with Liz Brush. They're trying to find out whether or not this was a 1 or a 2. Let's see where Huff's feet are when she lets the ball fly. Is she outside the key?
Wow, she is. I'm going to say I'm not the one wearing glasses up here in the booth. So,
well, her foot's not down, but it's hovering over the line. The ball is out now, and then her foot lands.
Right, so that's a 2. And I almost want to say she knew where that line was. You know, she's looking for those 2-pointers off of her sweeping dodges to that left side, catching the defense kind of off.
Shayna Pareca played earlier today. That was very reminiscent of the way Shayna shoots left-handed off the back foot, and Shayna is someone who has been an expert 2-point shooter. Reserve netminder there, Molly Wolf dancing, hoping that this is worth the Huff's second 2-pointer on the night. It was a 2 for Kelsey that started the proceedings tonight. The ball is out. The only foot on the turf was the one that was outside the key. We'll see if Lynn Bowers agrees.
So this was an official's review, and after further review, she did in fact release the ball out of her cross before she went inside the 8-meter key, and therefore the ruling on the field is overturned. It is now going to be a 2-point goal.
Kelsey Huff began the night with a 2, and now her most recent tally is worth 2 as she accepts congratulations along the sideline. Just shy of the midway mark in this third quarter, largest lead of the night for Taylor Moreno's side, dressed in gold. Obviously approving of the music selection, played in-house. Warden and Girardi return inside the draw circle. The 9-3 lead for Team Moreno. Katie Glynn's team has been ice cold for upwards of 11 minutes now. The last tally on the board was Charlotte North's early in the second. Getting control of the draw, but losing it out of the cross there. A turnover. Trenchard, Palermo angling back through midfield. Costly turnover for Team Glynn. They can't afford any of those. Palermo to the cage. She scores! Allie Palermo's first goal as a pro.
Allie Palermo showing her speed. She went coast to coast, caused turnover, ground ball pickup Trenchard, and Allie Palermo off to the races. She may be tiny, but she is mighty, running through just about every single player in purple. She accelerated to that goal cage and placed the shot so very well. We saw Katie Glynn dipped a little bit. She seemed a bit faked out.
In her collegiate career, Allie Palermo had 2 goals at Northwestern. That is her first as a professional. Tickling the Twine on ESPN. Taylor Moreno's team bullying Katie Glynn's to this point. Break it up into quarters for you, and you see it a 10-3 result for Team Moreno in gold. Lacrosse fans, we know that you'd love to win an autographed lacrosse ball signed by Charlotte North. You can do that by going to auprosports.com/sweepstakes. Register to win today. No purchase is necessary. There are other restrictions that may apply. Charlotte and her mates have a whole lot of catching up to do, trailing 10-3. Time for us to wade into a chair chat with Taylor Vanthof. Taylor, when you look at this from your vantage point, what's happened? How has your team fallen behind by 7?
I mean, we've come up with some great draw controls, some good stops on D. I think we just need quality possessions and to start just chipping away slowly. We're only in the 3rd quarter and there's still 6 minutes left, so a lot of time to get back in the game.
Taylor, give us an inside look of how you guys prep the week before this first game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very collaborative offense, defense. Everyone gets a say, and we're kind of now just trying to put it together here for the second half.
Taylor, you played collegiately not far from here at Loyola. You mentioned just how much Jen Adams and Dana Doby mean to you. How have they influenced you?
I mean, they're incredible people, coaches, lacrosse players, just well-rounded, and that staff just does an incredible job at Loyola.
Taylor, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Taylor Vanthof with us. 10-3 in favor of Team Moreno with a whole lot of time to go in regulation. Plenty of time for Team Glynn to rally, and we've seen a bunch of spirited multi-point rallies this summer, Court. The 2 goals 19 seconds apart, Huff's second 2-pointer of the game, and Palermo back-to-back.
We've seen a lot of those comebacks with Sam Apuzzo on the team, but lacrosse is a game of runs. And at this point, it's been all Team Moreno, but that doesn't mean that Team Glynn couldn't turn things around. They're already winning many of the draw controls, and now, just like Taylor had said, they just need to make sure to finish on the offensive side.
Katrina Geiger has a seat. This is going to be player up after a green card, I do believe, 30 seconds worth. (10-3) the score. Team Glynn has gone upwards of 12 minutes without a marker. Alex Ost-Holman and her side. Player up now. McCool for Levy. Levy always a 2-point threat with her cannon-like shot. Kenzie Kent will turn it. Huff, who's had a banner day, those 3 goals, a couple of those are 2s. Remember, those are 16 points apiece for yourself on the leaderboard. McCool thinking about it. Fought off by Glynn. Rebound outside the circle. They scramble for the ground ball, and it comes up for Courtney Taylor. 7 saves now for Katie Glynn in net. An exchange of possession here back to Alex Ost-Holman. Kent, a sneak attack. She scores! Kenzie Kent catching Team Glynn napping.
Joe, you took the words right out of my mouth. It seemed like they were just not prepared for the ball to come in from out of bounds. We see Alex Ost brought it in initially and then passed it to Kenzie Kent, and no defensive pressure. There were 3 defenders down low, and none of them quite communicating to take the ball. Ball is always most important. And then that explosive run by Kenzie Kent with a nice little jump shot to cap it off.
Kenzie Kent, thumbs up, happy with a hat trick. She was just 2-7, her individual 1-loss record, 2-7 this summer. Hoping to win a bunch of games with the Team Moreno this Thursday night and this weekend in Moreno's quest, as well as there are several others in the hunt for number 1 for the individual champion that we will crown on Sunday afternoon. Ball down, draw control, Kent there with it, with help from Girardi. Taylor putting pressure on along with Perella. They still fence for it, and it comes up for Moreno, as most things have in this game so far tonight. 7 unanswered points for Team Moreno. 4 of them in this quarter, as you can tell. Remember, there are 20 points on the line for each quarter win. Earlier today, Team Apuzzo over Team Johansson. Sam Apuzzo moving to the top rung on the Geico leaderboard in the process. McCool will take this one for a ride against Taylor. Marie often draws a double. Here comes the shade help. Kent is there, 2-person game, screen roll to the goal. Ost-Holman backpedaling away from pressure. 13 seconds to shoot. McCone will, and that is stopped cleanly by Glynn. Beautiful outlet timing for Geiger. Geiger looks to run into the 4-on-3 fast break. Geiger fires, and Moreno will stab that. Couple of goalie saves at each end, worth 6 points for the netminders. Just the 3rd on the night for Moreno. Remember, she's been double figures each of her last 8 games. Only 3 so far unofficially tonight.
I think the defensive play in front of her, they've done their job in causing a lot of turnovers where she hasn't necessarily have to come up with a bunch of saves on her own. The defense in front of her is playing very tough and physical.
Trying to close the gap on Sam Apuzzo at the top of the leaderboard is Moreno. Johansson and Waters, their day is done. Feed it inside. Fancy scoop there from Levy. That was turned away by Glynn. Nicole Levy never shy around that goal circle. Perella sprints in, feeds to the interior, gets away from Warden. Chased down by Stevens on the run. 3 minutes to go in quarter 3. McMahon hasn't made one of her patented bursts to the goal. This could be it against Amber McKenzie. Working around for North, keep it hot to the interior Stevens. Majorana gets above goal line extended. Palermo right there. Allie doing things offensively and defensively tonight. Majorana's pass gets away. Shot clock ticking to 17. North has it in her capable cross. Building momentum against Trenchard. North cross crease. That's picked off beautifully by Palermo. The rookie will sprint into the fast break. This is a 5-on-3. McCone's next. McCone waltzing in behind the back. She snapped it wide. Out of bounds. It'll stay Moreno ball. Just over 2 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter with a timeout on the field. A few moments ago, Courtney, it was Wildcat to Wildcat on a fast break.
Lindsay McCone playing so very confident. I like that we're seeing different shot selections. We saw between the leg a second ago from Nicole Levy, and then behind the back, Lindsay McCone. They're confident, and it's showing in their play.
Katie Glynn has been a difference maker in the 3rd quarter. She has a half a dozen stops. As Team Moreno has really turned up the shot volume, it's 11-3. We have this from the Unlimited Club for you, providing great benefits, including possibly voting on some league decisions, interactions with players, signed items, and more. For more info or to join today, go to auprosports.com. Players have been mic'd up for us all season. Tonight, Charlotte North and Taylor Moreno are. Let's go into the game, presented by Air National Guard, with a goalkeeper.
Catch me. Catch me. We're going. Guys, let's go.
Yes, let's go. Good shit.
Let's go. I love Happy Joe. I love Happy Joe. Let's go! Let's go!
Goalies love it when defenders score, don't they? That big roar coming from Taylor Moreno after Allie Palermo hit pay dirt.
You know, they're having fun, and when you're having fun on the field, you just seem to play looser. And then when that happens, good things come in its path.
Taylor Moreno's number 2 on the Geico leaderboard, as you can see left side of the screen. We just showed you a breakdown of how her points have been amassed so far in this game. So many saves for Moreno this summer, so many MVP points, but it really was that first week when she was the goalie for Sam Apuzzo that set the table for all of this. 581 points in the first week alone for Moreno. She's been hard to knock off the perch of the leaderboard since. 90 seconds left in this quarter. A quarter being led by Team Moreno, 4 points to none. McCool working into a dodge. Stepping out there to defend is 44 in purple, Sydney Pareca. Shot clock's at 3. This will be a shot clock violation. Couple of points awarded to all the defenders wearing purple. Kennedy sprints down the sideline. Allie Kennedy, who was a blockbuster for Team USA when they won gold in the Women's World Championships. Jenny Levy, her head coach, refers to her as a pistol, a pit bull, and she does so in a complimentary way. Similarly, you could say the same about Izzy McMahon, 2 in the purple. Majorana will work it for Stevens. 40 seconds left in the quarter, about 33 on the shot clock. Moreno adding to her save total there. Confident looking stop from 77 in the goal. Shot clock's turned off now. Amber McKenzie in her second season of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse and perhaps her final season as a pro. Amber has been telling folks that this is the end of the line for her in her playing career. Levy's big face dodge didn't get her to the goal. 7 seconds left. A last-ditch effort for Charlotte North. North rolling between defenders, lost the ball. That's where the third quarter will come to its end. Another profitable one for Team Moreno as they outpoint Team Glynn 4-0. It's an 18-minute drought for Katie Glynn. Sammy Jo Tracy in the middle of that huddle. Lindsay McCole, Marie McCole, 2. They are pleased with an 11-3 lead. Athletes trying to unlock their unlimited potential with the youngsters looking on, watching this 11-3 margin for Team Moreno. They have swept through the first, second, and third quarters to the tune of 60 points to none. Kenzie Kent with a hat trick in this contest. In court, you're going to break down some of her fancy footwork.
Anytime you get to talk about Kenzie Kent, it's dynamic lacrosse. Kelsey Huff moving that ball quickly, and we see Kenzie Kent right here, number 10 in gold. Her eyes are up. She sees what's in front of her, but then her defender approaches with too much speed, doesn't break her feet down, and that little hesitation is what opened up that second dodge for Kenzie Kent right around her. And then right here, once again, Kenzie Kent looking like she's going to tell everyone to slow things down offensively. But whenever you see your defender staring at the ball, you want to make sure to cut to goal. That nice little quick backdoor cut, how she beat her defensive player who was staring at the ball. Always see both to my young defenders out there. And then Kenzie Kent, once again, this was a quick inbound play. Defense didn't seem like they were set already. All 3 defenders there, but Kenzie Kent with her acrobatics took them right to the goal.
That last one was too easy for Kenzie, who, when she has time for some rest and relaxation, loves to go fishing with her dad, Jeff. 3 goals for Kenzie, 3 goals for Kelsey Huff. 2 of those 3 are 2-pointers. Huge game for 32 in the gold. Meanwhile, at the draw circle, Team Glynn, that's been one of the only statistical categories they've had the upper hand in this game. They have long been kept off the scoreboard. It's a drought of upwards of 18-plus minutes. As we get rolling in the fourth, Joe and Courtney with you from USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. A shout out of thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew. Our TV team playing a man down in our doubleheader today. Casey, we hope you're feeling better. We look forward to seeing you over the weekend. McCool on the go. Bring it on around for Kenzie Kent through the screen set by McCool. Flip for Levy halfway through the 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited. Huff is in no hurry. Lets a sidewinder go. Glynn makes the save. Sends a bounce pass ahead to the midline. Katie Glynn, a la Taylor Moreno, is into double figures. She has 10 stops at her end. Most importantly, though, now for the team in purple, they need to put some goals on the board and do so in a hurry. Trailing by a boatload, down by 8 points. Warden going to goal. Haley Warden. Around this time last year, she was getting a graduate certificate in cyber intelligence. I wonder if I can speak to her about any espionage, or maybe somebody from Langley would come and take me out of the booth if I tried. Majorana on the go. Stick check there. Cookie Carr looking for the turnover points. Majorana, great catch, score! An amazing catch and release by Allie Kennedy.
Earlier we had talked about Allie Kennedy's speed being back this week after it seemed like she was battered coming from World Championships, playing a lot of lacrosse here at Athletes Unlimited. But the pep and the step is back for her. Allie Majorana has done an excellent job of being a feeder for many of the teams that she has been on in weeks 1, 2, and 3. As she is dodging by her defender, her head is up. She knows that teammates are going to be coming, and Allie Kennedy, it was just outright speed with a nice quick finish.
That slow-mo doesn't do it justice, because that pass from Majorana was a bullet. Great catch by Kennedy. She finishes off for her 10th goal of the season. Majorana started play today, number 2 in the league in assists. Another helper there for Hallie. Those assists are worth 4 points apiece. That drought was close to 20 minutes long. Long time between drinks for Team Glynn. North's early second quarter tally all the way to Kennedy's early marker in the 4th. And another draw control. That trend continues. They have won handily at the draw circle, as you can tell, bottom of the screen. McMahon can shoot from 2. We know North can do that as well, as they try to chip away at a lengthy deficit. Majorana is parked on the end line. Plenty of time in regulation, just a little less than 8 minutes with which to work. Majorana with a defender hung up, tried to come short side. Marino was waiting. The ricochet out of bounds belongs to Charlotte North. North will carry in. Maggie Cook, her high school and club coach in Dallas, looking on, I'm sure. McMahon jitterbugs in and scores! There's the Izzy McMahon of the last few weekends.
2 back-to-back goals for Team Glynn here to start the 4th quarter. And that's exactly what they need. They need a spark. Katie Glynn's doing her job in goal, making saves and nice little footwork. Izzy McMahon, oftentimes out here early before games begin, working on her foot speed. She doesn't need much of it because she can shake and bake like no other. A few little stutter steps, getting her hands free, and Izzy McMahon looking to close the gap.
Izzy McMahon, veteran with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, getting the high five there. Facilitator Christy Foote in her ear. It was Izzy who told us that she was going to take Kelsey Huff, 32 in the gold, under her wing, try to help her be more comfortable in Athletes Unlimited. I guess it's worked out. Huff has had a big game at McMahon's expense. 2 tallies, a little less than a minute apart. Kennedy and McMahon making this one interesting. It's back to a 6-point deficit. Draw control. Can Sammy Jo Tracy break the spell? She does with the help of Marie McCool. McCool 4 in the gold, number 1 in draw controls in the first 3 weekends of play in this league.
As they get their personnel on the field, Team Moreno slowing things down. They want to make sure that they get the momentum shift back in their direction. They're looking to stop the quick run by Team Glynn.
Kenzie Kent with the ball. Courtney, the first 3 quarters were dominant for the team in gold.
They were, and you want to take the air out of the ball just a little bit, but when you're shooting well and dodging hard, you still want to make sure to go to the goal in a timely pattern, as they have been the entire game, not wasting too much time.
Molly Little was keeping tabs on Levy. Outside bounce shot off the outside of the frame. Reset the shot clock, give possession to Team Moreno, and that hurts as we're nearing the midway mark of the 4th. And the team in purple, Team Glynn, needs just about all the possession time they can muster. Kent hops to the inside. Kenzie skipping on through. Levy sets her feet. Little toe drag to the inside. Stuffed out by Glynn. Fancy work from Levy goes unanswered. Glynn makes her 11th stop in this contest. She had 11 earlier in a game against Team Arsenal this season. McMahon for 2, rips it top shelf. Izzy McMahon changing this game in a heartbeat.
Izzy McMahon has just made things very interesting. This 11-7 score, 4 points coming in this 4th quarter, and that's all you need. You need to give your team some energy, some life. Izzy McMahon coming right from the sub box, and look at this power. She's a tough, gritty player on the field. Oftentimes, feels like she plays with a chip on her shoulder, and I like it. That's how you get some momentum for your team, and she's these last 3 points. This 2-pointer is a big one.
A SportsCenter top 10 nominee for sure. High cheese from Izzy McMahon and from way beyond the 8-meter key. Overpowering Taylor Moreno. 4 points in the last 2.5 minutes for Team Glynn. And all of a sudden, thanks to Izzy's goal number 12, this becomes an 11-7 margin. McMahon did not have a 2 last year. She has 4 2-pointers this season to be among the league leaders. 5:48 to go, still plenty of time. It was an 11-3 lead for Team Moreno after 3 quarters. Those 20 points on the line for winning the individual quarter, right now heavily in favor of Team Glynn. Draw control once more to Marie McCool. That's a broken record, how often she's great around the circle.
She has another speed. She was another player who last week seemed to take things slow a little bit, let her body catch up, get its breath, so to speak. And then she just has the intensity switch that completely flips, and she's caused a lot of turnovers this game, had a lot of draw controls, 1 in her stick, and then obviously we've seen her assist on quite a few as well.
Huff maneuvers in, took a high hit there from Geiger, and Katrina knew it immediately. She's making her way off. This is a yellow card against Geiger. Player up for Team Moreno for 1 minute. Katrina will have a seat. After this,
it's a lot of body-to-body contact, but we see right there at the very end the stick to the face, and that's that minute penalty. A yellow card actually gives -4 to the player who dishes it out. So Katrina Geiger, everything having a value, so very important within Athletes Unlimited. Their individual statistics, team statistics from quarter to quarter.
Geiger last season just under 1,000 points on the leaderboard. This is her 2nd season of Athletes Unlimited. The officials continue to check it. Lynn Bowers looking on with Liz Brush. 11-7. All of a sudden, a lightning bolt 4th quarter for Team Glynn in purple. Geiger assessed the yellow after that hit up high on Kelsey Huff. Lynn Bowers, what say you?
So this was an official's review to determine whether or not the defender was inside or outside the 8-meter key, so we could determine where the placement of the ball will be. Since purple's foul check to the head was inside the 8-meter key, we're going to have an 8-meter, or excuse me, yeah, an 8-meter free position. That's where the ball's going to start, at the top of the center.
We appreciate it, Lynn. Thank you very much. The free position shot for Huff, who's in search of her 4th goal of the game. She's already bagged a couple of 2-pointers. 8 meters from the goal, that's guarded by Katie Glynn. Glynn, who's already made 11 stops. Critical juncture of this game. Huff looking for some breathing room. She scores.
As you'd mentioned, Kelsey Huff capable of the 2-point shot. Thought it could have been interesting if she would have done a windup, but her takeoff is incredibly fast as well. Oftentimes, if you're a player up, teams have elected to not take a free position and to set up their player up offense, but we've seen a lot of tough defenses in a 6v5 that have come up with big time saves. But as we take one last peek at this from the goal camera perspective, we see how well placed that shot was into that side netting.
That's a huge goal for Kelsey Huff, her 4th on the night. This has been a major climb up the leaderboard for Kelsey Huff individually. Every goal you get, normal goals are worth 12. She's got 2 of those for 24 points. 2-point goals are worth 16. That's 32 for her tonight. Plus the quarter points, perhaps the win. Kelsey Huff is going to be one to watch on the leaderboard as we cycle through in the quest to crown one champion. We'll do that by end of play and end of MVP voting on Sunday. 12-7 down the stretch, halfway home in the 4th. And Moreno with another possession. A chance to shrink the game for Cookie Carr, 83 in the gold. Cookie is another player. As you get older, she says the emotion starts to hit you. You think about the journey, perhaps at the end of her playing career, potentially.
Had the opportunity to talk with the assistant coach at UNC. Obviously, this Team Moreno, very UNC Tar Heel heavy, but he described Cookie as quiet thunder. And I think that is absolutely a descriptive word for someone who, she may be quiet, but she leads with her energy on the field, and she's tough.
McCool going to the goal, sent this one high. Ost Holman is there for the backup. Just over 4 minutes to go in the 4th, but they are going to award possession to Katrina Geiger. She was closest to the ball where and when it left the playing surface. So, importantly for Team Glynn, it's their possession when you return for the conclusion of this Game 20 in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN is brought to you by Aspiration, the global leader in sustainability as a service. From City, Baltimore, after the recent run from Team Glynn, a 4-1 advantage in the 4th, chasing down those 20 quarter points. It's a 12-7 lead for Team Moreno. While we watch Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, Athletes Unlimited Softball resumes with Week 3 tomorrow. 2 games. Team Jaquesh taking on Team McClenny, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific on ESPN+. Team Mulipola squaring off against Team Chittister at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ESPNU. Deja Mulipola entering Week 3 as the league leader, 826 leaderboard points in softball. She's also tied for 3rd in terms of stat points. She get 40 for a dinger. She's got a lot of home runs. Deja Mulipola. Charlotte North has a lot of goals in her rookie season. We've also seen plenty of good defense. Your Geico Defensive Player of the Game and Play of the Game unfolds like this.
Marie McCool with the caused turnover right here. She was relentless. Her intensity all over the field, second to none. And then this translated into an offensive goal. Palermo showcasing her speed. Anytime the defensive play of the game, the Geico defensive play of the game can translate into a goal, good things happen, and that was all due to Marie McCool.
Growing late on the time clock with 3:57 left. Marie McCool's in a good mood. exchanging a hug there with Izzy McMahon. McMahon with the last 2 goals for Team Glynn. One of those was a 2, her 4th of the season. In the 4th quarter, Team Glynn in purple has the lead. They're chasing those 20 points. They're also trying to chase down Team Moreno, down 5 with less than 4 to go. 20 seconds to clear in Athletes Unlimited. Glad you've tuned in there with us. We'll be with you again. Another doubleheader on Saturday afternoon, beginning at 1 Eastern over on ESPNU. Off the turnover, a take back for Palermo. Playing catch with Kenzie Kent, who's in no hurry now. That time clock is a weapon for Team Moreno. Lindsay McCone will play it for Girardi. And then around the horn for Huff. 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited. Nice catch there. Bring it around for Ostholman. She teams up with Huff, firing to score. Kelsey Huff has a handful. That's 5 on the night.
When you know you are shooting well, you demand the ball. And as we see the ball moving around the perimeter from Alex Ostholman, Kelsey Huff, look at that power. Getting her whole body involved, but out of the frame, Kelsey Huff demanded this ball right here, as she should. As she takes that power shot, placing it, you see her stick in the air right here. That's what I'm talking about. She knows when defense is not right on her, and if she has that power shot, she is looking to take it at this point. 2-point or not, and that one, her foot was on the line, maybe a step in front, but she's feeling it.
Captain Taylor Moreno taking Kelsey Huff in this past Monday's draft for very good reason. When you look at Huff's individual one-loss record, she's 7-2 this season, and closing in potentially on the 8-2 mark if Team Moreno can hang on to this 6-point advantage with just a shade more than 3 minutes to work in the 4th. Draw control cleanly for Team Glynn. Courtney Taylor jogging in against McCool. We dip below 3 minutes to go in the 4th. McMahon waiting for offensive subs, including the goal-scoring leader in all of Athletes Unlimited. That's Charlotte North. Perella moves it for Majorana. Bring it on around to North with Trenchard in a first-team All-American matchup there. North thinking about the 2, the bouncer. Fought away by Taylor Moreno, her 5th stop in the game. Outlets to fellow former Tar Heel Emma Trenchard. Keep it moving to another UNC standout. That's Marie McCool. And with 2 minutes to go, Team Moreno is closing in on victory.
The defense that was just on the field, that was all former Carolina. Mackenzie, Carr, Trenchard, Marie McCool. There's 6 former Tar Heels on this team that Taylor Moreno put together. And then a handful of Northwestern Wildcats as well. So you know that good things are going to happen when you have players who know one another's tendencies on the field.
Ostholman's behind the back shot went wide. Moreno, as you can tell on the leaderboard, closing in on Sam Apuzzo. Apuzzo, a winner earlier today over Team Johansson, and the captain put up 3 goals and an assist. One of those tallies was a 2. Back comes Team Glynn with Geiger striding along. 6-on-6, the feed for Kennedy. One more, Majorana! Dip and dunk, she scores.
From one end of the field to the other, Team Glynn, they are still in the lead here in this 4th quarter. If things hold true, they're going to walk away with 20 points. Quick ball movement, transitioning from the defensive side all the way down to attack. Geiger, Perella, Kennedy, and then into the ever-capable hands of Majorana, who's right on the doorstep of Taylor Moreno. And we see 1-2, and then she is dunking up and over her head. That's patience, and that is accuracy.
Hallie Majorana, 2nd goal on the night. Goals in all 10 this summer, and she credits the great Gary Gate for being a mentor to her during their times together in Central New York and Syracuse. Definitely somebody who made a difference in her career. Sammy Jo Tracy's inside the draw circle. Team Glynn leads in that department by a 12-8 margin. Charlotte North able to pop that one free, taken on the move by Taylor, as Team Glynn has to think about a 2-point effort here, trailing by 5 with only 70 seconds to go.
They have the capability. Izzy McMahon, Charlotte North. We've seen it previously from Allie Kennedy. A lot of players, they just have to line themselves up in the right spots.
McMahon and North each with flamethrowers on the outside. They work it into the interior. It's off the post. That quick trigger from Stevens did not hit pay dirt. Now Marie McCool will clear in the final minute with the shot clock off. Team Moreno can hang on as McCool lets it go. Just a reminder in terms of the fourth quarter points, checking, it's Team Glynn with 4, make it 5-2 in the advantage in this final frame. 30 seconds left. Team Glynn has had some bad luck at the offensive end. They've hit the iron 4 times tonight. Levy playing keep away in the final 15 seconds. Moreno about to bank 45 points for everybody in gold. Kenzie Kent turns the corner. 5 seconds left. No need to shoot for Nicole Levy, and she's bumped away, and this will be in the books in favor of Team Moreno by the final count of 13-8.
A huge game for the team in gold. Taylor Moreno putting together a solid team, a big effort. And personally for her, this is what she needed. She needed to win some quarters as well as an overall game because it's been a long time since she's had a win in her belt.
Moreno had lost each of her last 5 decisions, breaking that streak, and Moreno pulling into a dead heat right now with Sam Apuzzo on top of the Geico leaderboard. And then we still have MVP voting to come. 3 levels of MVPs. The first player gets 45 points, second 30, and 15 for the player judged to be the third MVP once both teams are finished with their tablets. 13-8, this one's in the books, and it was really a stranglehold for Team Moreno court in the first 3 quarters. That's when they took control of this game.
They jumped out to a large lead, and it was tough to come back from, but Team Glynn gave it their best effort here in the fourth quarter. You just can't get that far behind so early.
Katie Glynn exchanging congratulations. Taylor Moreno going through the handshake line as well, as this one is in the books. Game 20 of 24 in this Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2. Earlier today, Team Apuzzo over Team Johansson 8-5. Sam had 3 goals, including a 2 and an assist. So Moreno looking to keep the pace, and she does with a decision 13-8 over Katie Glynn's side. On Saturday, Team Moreno gets Team Johansson. Team Glynn gets Team Apuzzo. That'll start our doubleheader. For Courtney Martinez-Connor, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanks for your time. The next set of action coming your way on ESPNU. Saturday, we'll kick it off at 1 Eastern with more Athletes Unlimited. Tonight, Taylor Moreno's team, Too Tough.